Hello, welcome to our exact measure recipe for how to make original water Borek. To make 3 trays of water Borek, add 1 glass of water, approximately 25 grams of salt, and 10 eggs into the dough mixing bowl. In this recipe, we will prepare 2 trays with minced meat and 1 tray with cheese filling. The most important part of water Borek is the dough. This dough, which is rolled out by hand and boiled in water, cannot be made randomly. It is unleavened, contains eggs, and has a slightly sticky consistency. After the eggs, salt, and water are mixed well, wheat flour is gradually added. It is difficult to give the exact amount of flour in grams because it may vary depending on the size of the eggs and the type of flour used. On average, about 20 coffee cups of flour are used. For better results, first add about 70% of the flour and mix. Then gradually add the remaining portion in a controlled way. If necessary, adjust the consistency by adding a small amount of water or flour. The dough we need to obtain here should be slightly firm. Its consistency should resemble pasta dough. After the kneading process is completed, the dough is divided into portions, rounded, and left to rest. Sprinkle some flour on the counter and cut the dough into equal pieces. Roll each piece individually and place them on a floured tray. For one tray, you can use 8 or 10 pieces of dough. You can adjust the number of layers and thickness according to how you like your Borek. Friends, at this exact point, if you like the recipe, don't forget to like the video. Your likes truly make a big contribution in helping traditional and labor-intensive recipes like this reach more people. If you enjoy watching the detailed preparation stages of recipes that require skill like water Borek, you can subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications. On the channel, you can find many different contents ranging from minced meat Borek to cheese Borek, from street foods to syrup desserts. You can also support me by leaving a comment. Write which recipes you would like to see, and let's decide together. Thank you very much in advance for your support. Now let's continue with the preparation of our Borek from where we left off. We cover the dough pieces with a cloth and plastic wrap and let them rest for about 15 minutes. This stage is very important. If you do not let the dough rest, it will be difficult to roll out, it will shrink back, and you will not reach the desired thickness. Rested dough becomes more elastic and easier to roll out. While the dough is resting, let's prepare the minced meat filling. We add a little vegetable oil to a pan and add the ground beef. We add a very small amount of water on top and close the lid. The minced meat will first heat up, then we will move on to the sautéing process. I mix by pressing with a wooden spoon. The minced meat needs to be crumbly. We sauté it until it completely absorbs its water. It is important to be patient at this stage. The filling should not remain watery. I only add salt on top. I do not use any other spices. In water Borek, simplicity in the filling is essential. The flavor of the dough should stand out. The minced meat is sautéed and our filling is ready. Now we move on to the stage of rolling out the rested dough. The dough is rolled out with a rolling pin on a wooden counter, dusted with flour. Tearing or small holes forming are not a big problem. Such situations may occur with the first dough rolled out. Once 2 people start rolling together with 4 hands, the dough can be enlarged much thinner and more evenly. The rolled out dough sheets are stacked on top of each other, but you must make sure they do not stick together. You can prevent this risk by lightly sprinkling flour between them. After all the dough is rolled out, we move on to one of the most important stages of the process, boiling. The name of this burek comes from here. Since the dough is boiled in water, it is called water burek. Add plenty of water to a wide pot and let it come to a boil. On the side, make sure to have a deep container filled with cold water ready. The dough coming out of the boiling water will be placed directly into the cold water. Add plenty of rock salt to the boiling water. If salt is not added, the dough may fall apart while boiling. The water must be boiling strongly and the heat should be high. Meanwhile, vegetable oil is added to the aluminum tray and spread evenly everywhere. One unboiled, untorn, and smooth sheet of dough is placed on the bottom of the tray. This will be the base layer. The layers that will come on top will consist of boiled dough sheets. Boiled sheets will be placed up to half of the layers. The filling will be added in the middle, and then the same number of dough layers will be placed on top. We throw the dough into the boiling water. Within a few seconds, it softens and cooks. We immediately transfer it into the cold water. From there, we take it out and place it in a strainer to drain the excess water. Thus, the preparation for a layered, perfectly textured water burek is completed. A clean and dry cloth is used to remove the excess water from the boiled dough spread over an upside-down strainer. The moisture on the dough is gently absorbed. Then the strainer is carefully flipped over and the dough is placed onto the tray in one move. At this stage, you need to be fast but controlled so the dough is laid smoothly without wrinkling. When the layers reach a sufficient number, the filling is added to the middle. The minced meat is mixed with salt and finely chopped parsley and spread evenly everywhere. The filling should be neither too thick nor too thin. It should be spread evenly so that it is balanced in every slice. After adding the filling, the remaining boiled dough sheets are laid on the top layers using the same method, completing the layered structure of the burek. As the dough coming out of the boiling water is placed into the cold water, the water will warm up. When the cold water warms, it must be replaced with fresh cold water, and the process should continue this way. Otherwise, the dough may stick together and the desired firm texture cannot be preserved. After the top layers are completed, the burek is ready for cooking. These trays can be cooked either in the oven or on the stovetop. However, if it will be cooked on the stove, it needs to be turned continuously. Vegetable oil is drizzled over the top of the burek. This both increases browning and enhances the flavor. Now, a larger tray of water burek is being prepared to be cooked on the stovetop, this time with cheese. The preparation process is exactly the same, only cheese is used instead of minced meat. The quality and taste of the cheese used here are very important. Fatty and well-melting cheese should be preferred. The burek trays are arranged and prepared. Now they need to be cooked until the bottom and top are nicely browned. For the tray going into the oven, to control rising during baking, 2 cuts are made across the center with a knife, forming a cross shape from end to end. I baked the burek in the oven at 180 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes. The top browned beautifully. Let me also show the stovetop cooking method. I turn on all burners of the 4-burner stove at home and place the tray on top. I cook it over medium heat, turning it at intervals for about 10 to 11 minutes. When one side is browned, we move on to the turning stage. The most labor-intensive part here is turning the burek. If you have another tray of the same size, you can flip it directly into it. If not, you need to flip it onto another tray and then slide it back into its own tray. Be sure to grease the tray beforehand, otherwise the burek will stick and not slide. If this happened to us, make sure to take your precaution. After the bottom is browned for about 10 minutes as well, the cooking process is completed. As you can see, this is the cooked version of traditional water burek. Now our tea is brewed. Let's cut a slice of the cheese water burek. Let's also open up the minced meat water burek and show you its layered structure. I never doubt the taste of a flavor that requires this much effort. Traditionalized recipes are always the best. Enjoy your meal. Yes, our traditional water burek is ready. With its layered structure, beautifully browned top and bottom, and the balanced flavor of its filling, it truly turned out to be a recipe that requires effort but is worth the result. If you found this detailed explanation helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support is very important for the continuation of such skill-requiring traditional recipes. You can write in the comments which filling you prefer in water burek, minced meat, cheese, or a different filling. See you in the next recipe. May abundance never be missing from your kitchen. Enjoy your meal.